Hi everyone, this is Jenna, the Campus Community Garden Co-Coordinator and Volunteer Coordinator. Today I'll be taking you on a brief tour of the Campus Community Garden. So first here we have the north side of the property with our garden sign and the house clearly visible. This is California Avenue. So we're traveling along the property along California Avenue. So as you can see here on the north side of the house, we have the majority of your plots, 25 plots here. They're wood lined. We'll get a bit closer. It is May 5th and the garden is looking a little bit rough just because it is May 5th, 2021. So we are under COVID-19 protocols, which means we haven't been able to get any volunteers to help us do general garden maintenance in this area. So as you can see here, we have our wood-lined plots in two big rows here, all the way to the back. Each of these wood-lined plots is labeled with your name. So this is plot number 23, and it goes on. Your names will be updated. I think we're missing a few of the wooden labels we normally have, but those will be updated by the end of May. Coming closer to the house, we have water barrels, two of many. So you can access rainwater from barrels such as these. So some people have already started planting, started doing some of their work here. We can use cardboard in the garden to protect against weeds and to lay more mulch down on, to maintain our pathways. We have some birdhouses. As you can see, as we travel around, we have some surveillance signs. There will be cameras to be installed. Either they will be fake cameras or real cameras. So some of these plots do need some maintenance here as the year starts. Of course, they were cleaned out last fall, but as the spring begins, there is definitely some maintenance that is needed because the weeds keep popping up here. So traveling along the driveway of this house, along the side here, you'll see that there is this garage. We do not have access to this. This is where the groundskeepers keep some of their lawnmowers for the campus. There's a garbage pail. And as we travel around back this way, there's a bit of a pathway here. And we come to our next set of water barrels. Now, there are these two overflow barrels that actually have their spigots missing, so they need to be replaced. So for the meantime, we will have these big water barrels available. And as you can see here, there is an opening here. Closer to the end of May, we'll have hoses hooked up to this section right here. And you can turn on and off the hoses with a similar handle. You turn it from side to side, and you turn it parallel if you want it to be closed. So those will be hooked up shortly. As we come basically along the side of the house to the other side, to the south side, we have this greenhouse structure right here. So this is where a lot of our equipment is stored. The main reason why you'll be coming in here is because this is where the watering cans are that you have access to. Also, we have plenty of tomato cages. If you need any additional support, feel free to help yourself and grab some. Wheelbarrows are in here as well. One of the main important things in this greenhouse is also this cleaning solution. So this is our sanitization solution, and we ask that you sanitize all communal tools and equipment before and after you use them. So that includes the handles of the watering cans, the handles and hoses of the when you go to retrieve the water from the actual water barrels, and also any other tools that you may use, such as a wheelbarrow or anything like that. So it actually has this long hose, and we have it hooked up to here just because this little spout is a little bit leaky. So we ask that after you are done spraying down your equipment, that you return this sanitization container and put this little spigot back up here, so that it doesn't leak out the solution everywhere. So another thing to be mentioned here is that the sanitization solution is a very diluted solution of bleach and water. So exercise caution, don't get it in your eyes, don't consume it, because it does contain bleach. Moving on, past the greenhouse, if we keep traveling, we're headed back to California Avenue. We do have our final set of rainwater catchment barrels. Now these spigots are here, so those you can catch some water from. And then this is the same type of water catchment barrel with, oh, actually I believe the hookup is right there, so the hoses will be attached. Something I forgot to mention while we were in the greenhouse is that the hoses to the water barrels are in there as well. So now we're traveling further south into the garden. That's the nearby university in California Avenue still. So first stop is here. So we actually have a 3-stage composting system. This is stage 1. This is where, as you can see, a lot of the raw contents are placed for breaking down, such as egg cartons, eggs, things like that. Of course, the outside kind of needs a little bit of maintenance, but so hopefully we'll get to that this year. So that breaks down in there for a little while. And then stage 2, we layer that food waste, those food scraps, with a carbon source like more dirt. It's currently a bit empty. It's at the bottom of the barrel here, but we usually layer it with soil or leaves so that it breaks down. And then the finished compost is moved into the 3rd bin. We have some finished compost in there, but as you can see, it has been a very popular growing ground for some miscellaneous plants. So we're unsure if we are going to be providing compost this year, but just stay tuned for any announcements with that. You may have some available through us. So moving on past the compost bins, this is the Independence Garden. There's a little bit of a section here with very nice wooden structures, enclosing and trellises. In the middle here, there's a series of wood-lined plots where various things are grown, such as sea buckthorn, raspberries, lots of vetch growing in this area, and stuff like that. Plot holders don't generally plant in that area. We kind of reserve that for other planting. And then as we continue to travel south, we enter this open area. So as you can see, there is this mulch pile here. It doesn't look like much in the video, but there's quite a bit of mulch wood chips left. So you can definitely feel free to use that for mulching your plants. And we highly recommend that you do, because water can be short, especially during the dry summer months. So mulching will definitely help conserve water and moisture around your plants. So we have 2 garden sheds here. They are currently locked. The left one it has tools and other things, and that is mainly only accessed by the management team. The smaller metal shed to the right, we do have the majority of our tools, such as shovels, garden trowels, things like that. However, because of the COVID-19 protocols, we do ask, we are kind of restricting the amount of how much plot holders are able to actually go inside to access this. So if you need tools such as a garden trowel, just let us know, and we will allocate a garden trowel to you for the whole season. And that will basically lessen the risk of, COVID-19 exposure, because there will be less people going in and out of the shed. You'll just have this garden trowel on you for the season and then return it back to us at the end of the season. So this is the wood chips here. This right here too, this is a pile of, well, they kind of look a little bit aged right now, but this is where our weed pile is. And we do have groundskeepers regularly pick up these weeds for us when the pile gets too high. So if you're in the garden, especially because we can't have any gatherings right now and we can only allow plot holders in, so we can't have volunteers do general garden work, we ask that you weed as much as you can around your plots. That would help us greatly to just maintain the overall beautification and balance of the garden. And when you are done, you can just basically place all of your weeds in this pile. As you can see, there are some wooden posts here. The Indigenous Center at the university campus actually stores their poles here. This is the structures that they use to actually construct their teepees, and that they have for social events. So those are there, just kind of as a signpost, or a landmark, I should say. So in this, we're kind of like a bit farther out from the house. Those are the Independence Gardens. And right next to the Independence Gardens, we have basically the Keyhole garden. There's a lot here. Right up front is a rhubarb patch. But as we travel inwards, there are some pathways, even though they're kind of hard to tell where they are at the moment. But there is a lot of wildlife value here. And this is where we have, right at the, the western edge of the property, right farther there next to the street. That's where our butterfly meadow starts, and it kind of continues on in this area. We have lots of beneficial native plants. I'll show you the native plant sign briefly after. Then, I guess if you keep traveling south, we have some small trees in this area as well. I forgot to mention that we have some large mulberry trees right next to the greenhouse, right along the greenhouse, so definitely help yourself to some mulberries. We have a row of blackcurrant bushes here. One of our management team members makes a really great jam out of these currant bushes. We have another mulberry tree right there at the edge of the property. We're kind of reaching the southern end of the property there. As you can see, we kind of have some garden beds in this area. Some of it is reserved for more butterfly garden territory. So it's kind of hard to tell where the plots are exactly, because not all of them are lined with wood, such as on the north side. But we do have this bed. This is our wheelchair accessible plot here. So we have it paved with stones, and we have a raised bed that's higher up off the ground. And we do have somebody who's currently using this plot. So we have that, and then this little section here on the side. And then that leads us, we have a straight path towards California. This is our southern sign at the southernmost edge. Right next door are these houses. So we're kind of on a residential street. So I'm just walking along California Avenue right now. And I wanted to take a quick moment We're kind of traveling along the butterfly meadow that has yet to come up to bloom, just starting to grow in here. We have our little sign that we're helping native species. But this sign you should definitely check out and take a moment to read it if you have the time. Native plants at the community garden. This is one of the more recent signs that we've installed here, and it describes almost all of the native plants that we have in the garden and how they benefit wildlife. So that is an extremely educational sign, and I love looking at it. I'd recommend that you look at it as well. So that concludes our campus community garden tour. Hopefully we have kind of shown you enough around so that you know how to navigate the garden a little bit better, whether you are a returning plot holder or a new plot holder. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Rebecca. Have a great day.